Hi guys, Stephanie from Mrs. D's Corner here. Sorry I'm a little late. I was getting things set up and making sure that I had everything ready to go for SPED Prep Sunday. And we're going to talk all about setting up adapted binders, oh my gosh, it is seriously Sunday, adapted books. And I'm going to show you the adapted piece book sets for December because today I'm going to be prepping snowmen at Christmas. So adapted piece book sets, that's a mouthful. Adapted piece book sets are my newest product line, and I started with December. You can grab them for $1 only today, so you get 5 books, and you get all of the pieces you need to make all 5 of those books adapted piece sets. So you can grab the link above if you want to do that. They're $1 for the rest of today, and then they'll go back to regular price. So what are adapted piece book sets, and what are adapted books? I love using adapted books with my classroom because it allows me to use a regular children's book, okay? Any children's book that I want to use, and it allows me to turn it into something that I can ask questions, picture questions, and have my kids answer those questions as we're reading along. Whether I'm doing it one-on-one with the kid is doing it independently in a center or with a parent in a center, or if I'm sending it home in a reading toolkit, or we're doing it whole group and each kid has a couple of pieces in front of them. There are so many different ways that you can do this in your classroom, so you want to do it the best way that works for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the 5 books that come in the book set, and then we're going to get started on prepping up snowmen at night. So if you're going to be prepping with me, this is the book that I'm going to be prepping. You can also grab some free ones in my resource library. So if you just go to mrsdscorner.com and you click on resource library and sign up, there are, oh my goodness, I don't even know how many, maybe 6 free adapted book piece sets in there. A lot of them are for Thanksgiving because I did a couple of them at Thanksgiving to kind of get my toes wet and seeing how y'all like them, and you love them, so I'm going to continue. And there are, I'm finishing up Pout Fish for Merry Christmas. I was trying to finish it up before this so that it could go live and you guys could grab it. I'm going to finish it tonight and at least put the pieces up. I won't have the video ready for you guys, but I'll definitely have the pieces up for Merry, not so very Merry Pout Fish, whatever the book is called. It'll be in the resource library later tonight, so you want to check that out. So in the December set, you're going to find Mistletoe, which I just showed you. You're also going to find Snowmen at Christmas, and this is the one that I have already prepped. So if you've seen the video, this is the book you'll have seen. I'm actually going to prep the larger size one tonight. I also have The Old Lady Swallowed Some Snow. Leaves and turkey and pie, I think, or all, maybe it's just pie and turkey. The Old Lady books are in the resource library for free. If you want to try those out, The Old Lady Swallowed a Bell, one of my other favorites. The Polar Express, and then, Turkey Claws. This is another one of my holiday favorites to read this time of year. And then you get, you don't get the books in the download, you have to have the books already. What I do is I'll go to Half Price Books or the Goodwill, get on eBay. Thriftbooks.com is a great place to get books, or if you want to order new books to have in your classroom. I like having 2 sets. So this is my book, and this is the adapted book. You can't tell the difference until you open it up. So you have both sets for your kids. So if you have kids who maybe are reading on level, or just below level and don't need the picture comprehension, you don't need to use the adapted piece book set with them. You still have the option to use the regular book with this. So there is another holiday book in my resource library. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You're going to have to go sign up. It's a very popular one, but you're going to want to sign up for the resource library to grab that one. So what comes in the adapted piece book sets are all of these mats, and you get all of the pieces that go with it. So this is what we're going to be prepping tonight. And these are just the mats for December. So there are 5 mats in the resource that's linked above. You get them all for $1 for the remainder of tonight. And if you want to try them out for free, there are a lot in my resource library on my blog. So if you just go to mrsdscorner.com, you can find them there. So let's get prepping. I don't want to keep you too long because it is Sunday night. And I do want to finish the Pout Fish book, Merry Christmas, for you guys to have, for those of you who just have this week left. Some of us have 2 weeks left or something like that, right? So I want to make sure that we all have time to prep something fun like that. So the first thing you're going to need to do, my Velcro is, I pre-cut it, and it's sticking together here on the table. The first thing you're going to want to do is to grab your computer and download it from the computer. Now, Some of the books, it'll say, gives you directions of how to print, and there's a website, or my blog is linked on there to show you the blog post that goes through step by step how to print these. It's in every single one. It links to the book if you don't have the book or unable to find it. And then there's also a printing directions page. Sometimes, like these pieces here are not printed. I printed them, I think, at like 50% of the size so that they would fit inside this snowman board book. So I got this board book at Marshall's and it was $4.99. And then I found this one actually, I think at Half Price Books for like $1.99. So you can find them anywhere. These are popular children's books that your kids are probably already reading, or they've already read, or you read year after year and you love them. So that's why I chose these books. So this is the set of pages of answer pieces that goes with this board book. Well, when I did the, when I printed the pieces for today, I printed them at 75% of size. So how I'm doing that is when you are in Adobe Reader, so you can download Adobe Reader for free. When you do preview, I haven't used preview on a Mac. I'm not a PC user, guys. So if you're using Adobe Reader, I know that you can print it. You just print, I think it's like shrink to fit, and then there's a percentage, and then you can put the percentages of how big or small you want to print them. So if you need to print them bigger for your students with vision impairments, you can print these pieces bigger, or you can print them smaller like I did. So to fit in this book, just to be safe, because did you guys know there are hidden pictures like on every page of this book? I had no idea. So I don't want to hide them and I don't know where they are. So I printed them smaller so I don't cover it up. Hopefully I don't cover it up. So I printed these at 75% of size. I did laminate them already. I do like laminating the pieces that go in the book first, because when I go to tape them in, if my tape kind of crinkles or something over top of this, then I'm easy to peel it off and it's not going to rip my page. I don't have to worry about printing it over again. So it really does make it easier to just kind of print all of the answer pieces at once. So I printed them all at once, and then I also printed the mat, and this is what it looks like. I'm printing the mat on Astro Brights. It's not cardstock, it's regular printer paper, this white paper, and this is just a regular piece of cardstock. So I printed it on white. You can see the 3 lines there that are gray, and it says add Velcro here. So all I did was I pre-measured, and then I'm just going to stick these on my mat really fast. So if you guys have any questions about adapted books or adapted piece book sets or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment and shoot me the question while we're doing this live. It is Prep and Chat. I will do my best to stay on task and not get off task to show you guys everything you need to see. So this is the mat. That's all you need to do is add 3 strips of Velcro and it's ready to go. So I laminated it after I printed it and added 3 strips of Velcro, and the mat is ready to go. What we're going to work on now is cutting out the answer pieces and cutting out the pieces that are going to go inside of my book. So my pieces are out of order. Now, one thing that's kind of difficult with these pieces is there aren't any page numbers on these, so I'm not able to give you like a page number for the book. So what I do, if you're not using the preview video, so if you go to the link above and see the adapted piece book set for December, if you click the preview, it will give you a PDF that links to all of the videos that I created for you, showing you guys each page of each adapted book, and it's on YouTube, so you can just see all of it, the whole preview there, to see everything you want to get before you buy it. It also helps you guys for putting it together. Now, when I do it, when I put it together, is I have my computer sitting here right next to me. I like to pull up the PDF because I do put the pieces in order as you're going. So when you read them, you're going to start here, and this is going to be the first one you're going to tape in, and you're just going to go this way, okay? So I'm going to pull it up actually, just so I don't mess anything up. I could certainly just use this as a reference too, so I might set this out in front of me. So you can see that who and what did he wonder. It's great to have the PDF with you as well if you print them and they get out of order and you're trying to figure out like what order they are and if you're going to cut them out. It's great to have the PDF up while you're working on putting these together, so that way you have a reference of what order the questions are going in and you're not kind of scrambling on the table seeing what needs cut out when. So I'm going to put this book that I already did. It's just the board book. I'm prepping the bigger book right now. because the board book's kind of small. It's great for the littler hands, but I like having the big book as well. And I also have the hardcover version of this book that's my copy. So it would be my extra copy of the book if one of my kids doesn't quite need the vision or the visuals from the book. So I have it over here on my computer. I have it pulled up, and it's going to start with who. So my pages are actually out of order. We're going to start with this page with this little boy. And then the next page is the snowman. So my pieces were completely out of order. And then this page will be the last page. So I'm putting them in order in front of me. The next step you want to do is you're going to cut the pieces out. So, like I said, I printed these, and then I printed them on regular paper. I put them right in the laminator. Again, this is completely your own preference. I like to put them in the laminator before I cut them, because it gives the tape, like I said, if it gets crinkly, the tape on there, it kind of messes it up. It gives it that you can peel it and re-put the tape on it. It's not going to peel the actual picture or anything off of it. So what I like to do is, and maybe you're one of those people that likes to cut, laminate, and cut. I am not. I have found that it doesn't make my pieces last any longer if they're being used all the time. So I am a person who will print, laminate, and cut it once, and that's it. To each their own. What I'm going to do though, before I cut these pieces off, actually I'm not, I was gonna put the stickers on there, but I can't because I need to tape it into the book. So I have my pieces. Now, as you can see on this page in the book, I didn't even cut them apart, so I like to keep some of them together. We're on the same page here, okay? This is the big one. I'm prepping the big one. I'm reading the story like to myself in my head as I'm putting this together to kind of make sure that my pictures and my questions are on the correct page. You don't need to place them. If you're using the YouTube video that I created for each book, you don't need to place them exactly where I've placed them. You don't have to place them on the same book page. You can put them however you want. I do it that way. It's just easiest for me to do it page by page, but you do whatever works best for you. So I am going to cut out, it says, one Christmas Eve I made a snowman, very fat and jolly. I dressed him up in red and green and trimmed his hat with holly. So who the little boy did, and then what did he make? He made a snowman. Then it goes into the next page. So I don't necessarily need to keep this one together. So I'm actually going to put it on the next page. And if I were using this in whole group as I was teaching, I would read both pages first, and we might even read the whole book together first. I'm going to read these pages first, and then if, for example, this is one way that I really like to use it. I'll give each kid a couple of answer pieces, not in any particular order. They have pretty much no idea what they mean until we're reading the pages. And then as I'm reading, I'll be like, okay, so one Christmas Eve, I made a snowman, very fat and jolly. I dressed him up in red and green and trimmed his hat with holly. So who did this? Who has a picture of who did this? And we'll talk about it. And then the person that has the page or the picture of the little boy will get to put the little boy picture in the book. And then we'll go into, well, what did he make? The little boy, what did the little boy make? Well, he made a snowman. So the other student then who has, or if it's the same student, however you're doing it, who has the snowman picture is going to put the snowman into the book. So I am printing, laminating, cutting out. I'm doing it in order of the book. I have the PDF up next to me. I'm also using the YouTube video that I've created for you guys as a reference if you need that. I am using this Scotch tape. It's Scotch shipping tape. I think it was like $3 at the grocery store. Super high tech, guys. Like, I'm not laminating pages or anything. I am just taping it into the book. You can see here, that's all that I did. I just taped it into the book. I like these. If you want to grab the big roll, you can. I like these because I don't have to cut. I can just peel it and stick it in. So I'm going to take a piece of tape. I'm going to put my answer piece or my question here on the tape. And then I'm going to stick it into the book. Wherever on the page you want to put it is fantastic. You don't need to put it where I put it, but I'll show you where I put it. On this one, I'm putting it down here in this corner. Okay, so I try to, when I'm putting it into the book, for example, with the turkey book, I tried when I made the book to not cover up the pictures for my kids, because they use the pictures and the visuals to kind of answer the questions as we're going through the book. So I try to make them the question boxes as discreet as possible so they're not ruining the picture book for the kids. I don't want to ruin the picture book for the kids and have them moan and groan and say, oh man, we're doing comprehension. I still want it to be fun for them, and I still want them to think of this as story time, but I'm getting some comprehension out of them at the same time. So, who and what. And then on the other page, I saw his arms were trembling as if he couldn't wait. It made me start to wonder, how do snowmen celebrate? So what did he wonder? Now, most of the questions you'll notice, if you have the set or you've downloaded a free one already, you'll notice they just use the basic W questions like who, what, when, where, why, and how. Those are the questions that I'm using. But if there's something like what, and I put it on this page, I still want you guys to be able to figure it out as teachers what question I'm even asking you. So who, well, you know who, the little boy, right? And you know what he made because it just told you it's a snowman. But if I just put what and I told you to put it on the second page, you'd be like, what? His arms? How does this picture of this snowman with confetti, what? So some of them I will elaborate on for you. What did he wonder? I am just going to stick this one by itself on this little page. And I like that I can make these smaller. Now, if it does happen to pull too far, I am going to cut it. But for the most part, I'm not being picky about it. As long as it goes in flat in the book, I am good to go. So here are the first 2 pages, and we're going to keep going. I don't cut these out yet. I'm going to put sticky dots on them before I cut them out. The sticky Velcro dots, which I have pre-cut for this book. You'll need 23 sticky dots, both sides, the loop and the hook. So I'm going to put these aside. I'm going to put them face down on my table so they're in order and I don't kind of have to worry about all that. When we are going to the next page, I think that while I'm snug in bed dreaming of Christmas treats, the merry snowmen slip away and hurry through the streets. So when do the snowmen slip away? They slip away when he's going to bed. So this is going to go on this page. But I also need to cut out these next pieces because I'm asking what. So when do the snowman come to life, essentially? They come to life at night when the little boy is sleeping. Well, where did they go? What did they do? It says they're running through the streets. So you're going to find a picture of a snowman running through the streets. So I'm going to take this top one of what, and I'm going to stick it on this page with when. Now, if I have 2 separate pieces, so that was the first set of 4. Now I'm on the second set of 4 of questions. I'm going to try and kind of put them kind of close together if it's a short page like this. If it's a longer page where there maybe are a couple paragraphs or characters are talking, I'm going to put them in different places to kind of go along with what's going on in the story. I'm not just going to group them all together. I want kids to be able to get it too. So I'm going to take this tape. And oh, I taped the tape to itself. That'll drive me nuts. This is why I laminate before I put the paper on. So I like to put these on here before I stick them in the book. Again, because if I put it on crooked in the book or something and I go to rip it off, it's gonna rip paper on the tape. And I don't wanna do that. So I like making sure that piece is not straight at all. So just showing you, as per example, I would have left it normal. I can rip it right off because I've already laminated it. But now I'm gonna make it super straight since I already ripped it off. And then I'm just going to stick it here in the book. So we have it here, down there in the bottom. So you're going to continue doing this throughout the whole book. It doesn't take that long. I'm kind of elaborating it a lot to kind of take you step by step to really give you the insides of why I'm putting these certain questions here and what they mean and why the questions do and how I'm prepping it. When you do it and you have it here and you're prepping, it's going to go so fast. I think I prepped all 5 of these books in like 2 hours, and that's like print, prep, laminate, Velcro, everything, and like taping in all the books and getting it ready. So it goes really fast once you get the hang of it. Once you do one book, it's gonna go like, you're gonna be really fast. My dog's walking around. So I'm going to skip putting the rest of these in the book to show you guys, to save you guys time. I don't think you need to see me do the rest of the book, but I am just going to show you then how I would put these in the book and what they're gonna look like on the mat. So those are my extra questions. Before I cut these, I'm gonna put the sticky Velcro dots on the back. And my husband pre-cut these out for me so I didn't have to bring the whole roll. He's such a sweetheart. Now, if you're wondering where I get my Velcro in a big roll, I get my Velcro from Feener Supply. You can sometimes get it cheaper on Amazon. It depends on when you need it, how much you need. If you're ordering it in bulk, I've found that Feener Supply is always cheaper. And when I mean bulk, I mean like I'm ordering 6 to 10 rolls of just strip Velcro and like 6 to 10 rolls of each side of Velcro. Did you hear my dog? He's tired. So that's a lot of coins. If I need just like a couple to get me through something and I need it right away, I'm gonna order from Amazon. It's like $1 maybe more expensive, but I'm gonna get it quicker. But I do like ordering from Feener. And it comes from Florida, if you didn't know that. So it does come from Florida. Just giving you guys all the 411. I am not affiliated with Feener Supply whatsoever. I love their Velcro. I actually need to put in another order. I'm out. Like, I am out of these hard dots now, so I need to put in another order. But I ordered my bulk Velcro at the beginning of the school year, so it got me through almost half of the school year. So it does last me a really long time. All right, here's my mat. Now, when I'm storing these, I am storing them on the mat. You can easily then, I'm just gonna slide them out, take the mat, stick it in the book, and then put these in your reading toolkits, put them in your file cabinet, stick them in the project cases if you have like project cases like I do for every month, or you can stick them in big gallon baggies to kind of store all of your adapted piece book sets together for 1 month. Or maybe you have like a snowman unit and you want to keep this with the snowman. You could easily do that. That way I'm not keeping, I don't have to go looking for the book. I don't have to go looking for the pieces next year. It's all going to be right here, ready to go. When I put them back on the mat, I'm not going to put them back in order because I don't want, when my students go through a picture book with me and we're doing this, I don't want them, if we're doing it one-on-one, I don't want them to be able to just look at the answer sheet and not have to think and just pull a piece and be like, yep, that's the right answer because they're all in order. I want them to actually have to think about the story, think about the words, and what the picture correlates with the words. So these are just the first 2 strips from the very first page. I have 2 other pages here of answer pieces that I do need to cut out and put into my book. Just to kind of show you, this is what it would look like finished. Now this is the one that goes with my board book, okay? So I have the board book version of this. It's the same answer pieces, the same exact book, but I'm just prepping it in this larger book for vision impairments. If you're just catching me, I'm kind of repeating myself from the beginning of the video. So you can do it that way. The extra book, so I told you this is not an adapted piece book set. It is in the book set, but this is not the adapted book. This is the adapted book. I'm going to keep, this is the adapted book, I'm just going to tell you because you can't tell the difference when you're just looking at the cover. I'm going to keep this one in my filing cabinet or wherever I'm storing it. I'm going to take my, where are my mistletoe pieces? Stop it, guys. I can't even handle how cute mistletoe came out. Like, let me show you my favorite piece. Where is it? Oh my gosh. Look how cute he is. I just love his little mustache and little snow. Okay, I'm done. So I'm gonna take this missile piece, answer piece mat, that's what I call it, and stick it in the book, and then I'm gonna file it away for next year. So that's what I'm gonna do when I finish. You can do the same thing with the board books. They're a little harder to store because they're a lot thicker. But I'm gonna do the same thing with this one when I finish it after this and just store them. The regular books that aren't adapted, I'm gonna keep them on the bookshelf like all the books you see behind me. I'm gonna keep them on the bookshelf. The kids can read them whenever they want. I also do have one of those metal book rack things and you can stick like a shelving book thing. So I'll keep them on there too. If it's that time of the year, I will put the adapted piece book sets out. So Snowman at Christmas is going to go out onto the, what are they called? The wire book rack? The wire book rack in place of the adapted board book. This one's gonna go on there tomorrow. So I do have that. What else do we need to tell you about the adapted piece book sets? Do y'all have any questions? I saw somebody asked about January, and somebody did say there's only one set in your GPT store right now. So December is the first set that I have created. I pretty much have January books picked out and ready to go. I'm waiting for them to come in the mail. I ordered them the middle of last week, so I'm hoping that early this week they're going to come out. That way I can release January before winter breaks. You guys can prep them over winter break and kind of chill and have it ready to go first thing when you get into the classroom in January. Oh my gosh, it's going to be January 2018 soon. So January is just about finalized, and I want to say there's like 8 books. I will tell you The Mitten is one of them. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. The Mitten by Gingerbread is one of them. And The Snowmen All Year. I'm going to finish the Snowmen series for you. So the rest of these are going to be in there. Oh, I'm trying to think. What else did I pick out? Where'd my books go from? Oh, Sneezy the Snowman's going to be in there. Just picked him up at Half Price Books for $1.99. He's on Amazon for like $8, and I was like, just gonna go to Half Price Books. I don't think that any of the other books that I picked out at Half Price Books are, they're not. The rest of my January books are coming in the mail. If you do have recommendations for books that you want to see, so I am going to do the monthly books, but I love children's books so much. I have so many. I mean, this is just a fraction of what I have. I'm not even kidding you. So I do have plans to kind of do, and you guys are hearing this first, do like an Eric Carle book set, and then go from there and see how that goes. And if you guys have like sets of books that you love and you want to see more of, like Tacky the Penguin, I know I have a book companion set for him. Haven't thought about doing an adapted piece book set for him yet, but things like that. If there's a set of books that there's like 4 or 5 in the set and you really want to see it made into an adapted piece book set, shoot me a message, shoot me an email. I will take a look at it and determine if it's something that I think everyone would love. And if it is, I'd be happy to create it and get it started for you guys. So if you want to know when January comes out, again, I'm hoping that the books come this week. But I am going to work really, really hard to have them finished definitely before Christmas. So they're definitely going to be finished before Christmas. And then you guys will be able to prep them far enough ahead of time. So I'm hoping that once I get January done, I'll start working on February books. So if you have any recommendations for February books, send me a message. I mean, seriously, if you have recommendations for like November books, send me a message. I'll write it down. And when I get back to November, that'll be the last book set that I do because I'm starting in December. We're going to go a year out. I'm going to keep working on them that way. So if you give a mouse a cookie books, I have a lot of those. I'll have to look into that. Mo Willems, I have all the Mo Willems books. I will have to look into him. I have to make sure that there's enough content within each book to ask a question, at least on every page. So you're asking about Bear. Yes. Yes, Bear is on my radar. I have to read the books and see how the content fits with the style of these adapted piece book sets. Definitely the old lady books. I mean, she's my favorite. She loves to eat. I love to eat. All the old lady books are getting done. There's no worries about that. I'm pretty sure there's 2 or 3 of the old lady books already in the resource library on my website. There's 2 of them in the Belle and Snow. They are already in this December book set. So if you wanted to grab those are ready. You can use Snow in January as well. The Belle one is more for Christmas. I'm also looking into, there's other authors who do that style of book as well. And I just found a new one. I forget what it was. So I'll have to figure it out. Again, I'll look into Pete the Cat. I actually don't own any Pete the Cat books. So I will have to go to Half Price Books. I know somebody asked, where do I get price books, my books from? So I will order from Amazon. I do check Amazon. But the link, Lynn, the link for the books is right above the video. So if you exit out of the video and see it in your feed, you're just going to click that bit.ly. I think it's MDC APBS December. So it's right above the top. You can find it there. They're $1 for the rest of the night. Sorry, getting back to where I find books. I go to Half Price Books. So this Bear book was $2.49 and it regular retails for $4.99. So I'm going to check Scholastic because they have their dollar deals all the time, right? They have dollar books right now, or they did like a week or 2 ago. So I'll check Scholastic if I want to get new books. If it's a book that I don't currently have, I'm going to order 2 of them. One so I can have the regular book and one so I can have the adapted book. I'm gonna go to half price books. I go to the Goodwill all the time. I'm gonna stock up at yard sales. I mean, I'm already stocking up at yard sales all the time on books. So yard sales, thriftbooks.com. I just ordered, that's where I ordered all my January books from. I ordered all my January books from thriftbooks.com, and it was like $25. I'm not even kidding you. It was like 8 or 10 books. I don't remember how many it was, but it was a handful. So it was really cheap. Thriftbooks.com. There's another website that I'm forgetting the name of it. So I'm actually gonna try and get a blog post out for you guys. Hopefully, once I finish January books, I'll definitely get it out for you to tell you guys where I find all of my books, but I'm telling you now. So if you need to come back though and watch them, you'll be able to find them that way. But I love half price books, thriftbooks.com, eBay, Amazon is great if you can find the hardcover books. So I just went to Target yesterday, and I got 2 hardcover books that were on Amazon for like $5, and they were $18 at Target. So they price matched for me. So I'm doing that as well. Amazon or Target price matches Amazon if it's fulfilled by Amazon, if you didn't know that. So you can pick up hardcover books if you wanted to do that as well. That's all my secrets I think that I have for tonight. I've shared a lot of information with you, and I've showed a lot to you guys. But again, as always, I try to respond to your messages and emails daily. If I'm not responding, please be kind and respectful of my time as well. I do have a family and I'm teaching, so I want you to think of that as well. But I do try to get back to you guys as soon as possible because I want you guys to be able to use these resources in your classroom as well. Again, if you want to try a few out, first you can go to the resource library and grab a couple of free ones. There is one Christmas book in the resource library already. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You have to go find it yourself. And Pout Pout Fish, the Merry Christmas Pout Pout Fish book, I'm going to finish it tonight and get that in the resource library for you. So check back either later tonight or tomorrow morning when you're at school, print it off, get it ready to go. And if you guys have any questions at all, ever, at any time, you can email me, Stephanie@mrsdscorner.com, or you can shoot me a message here on Facebook, find me on Instagram. However you want to get a hold of me is great. And have a great rest of your Sunday night. I hope this video was informative for you, and I'll be back soon. Have a great night. Have a great week. See you guys later.